In today's video, we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna talk about a helmet that really surprised me. If you've been watching my videos for, what, like a year and a half now, this Simpson Ghost Bandit is kind of my go-to helmet. Really love this helmet, but it does tend to be heavier on longer trips. And another reason why I wear it all the time is it's got the Cardo already set up. So I do like this helmet, no knock on Simpson, they make a good product. But there is another helmet I have. By the way, this is not a sponsored video. I bought all this stuff with my own money. This is the Scorpion Covert FX. This particular one is the carbon. It is extremely light, but you don't have to get the carbon. The regular version is light too. I have a gray one out there in the back, and we're gonna talk about this helmet and why it surprised me. And at the price point, it might just be one of the best helmets you can buy. Now, I've got to take a little trip, so we're gonna hop on the Road King, go for a ride. Before we get started, I did want to mention my clothing brand, Iron Coast Supply, just run by me. I started this brand about, a year ago. And really just wanted some cool motorcycle shirts, so I was like, you know what, let me create some of these myself. I like these shirts. They're a little looser fitting, you know, nice. I don't like them super tight. It's got the Florida flag. It's a Florida shirt. We've got a lot of cool designs. Actually just came out with a Sturgis shirt as well, so wouldn't mind check that out if you want to support the channel. If not, that's cool too. Something I started doing at the beginning of my videos is going over a positive comment and then sharing a negative comment towards the end. So we like to start things off in a positive way. This one comes from YouTube on my last video, from AFK Sleepy Dad. He says, hey dude, your content helped in getting confident and comfortable in the saddle. As a new rider in my 30s, very fair and understanding logic regarding enjoying the ride for the sake of the ride. Was appreciated. Keep it rolling. Thank you for the comment, AFK, and we're gonna keep it rolling. So in the spirit of that, let's saddle up on the 2002 Road King Classic and talk about the helmet a little bit more. Also apologize for the voice. I'm getting over a cold, and I get this thing where it's like a lingering cough and sore throat for a little while, so bear with me a little bit as we pull this thing out. I'm not really sure if the weather is going to cooperate or not. The skies look a little gray, but I haven't ridden in a couple of days, so whatever. We get wet, we get wet. This is my 2002 Road King Classic with the 88 cubic inch. We reworked the entire bottom end, Screaming Eagle cam plate, replaced the chain tensioners from spring-loaded to hydraulic, put some hard bags on it, 16-inch bars, nice DNA 21-inch front wheel, Arlen Ness big sucker intake, lots of other things. Got the 38-inch fishtail. The thing sounds great. And the seat, a lot of questions on the seat. Believe it or not, got it from eBay, like 150 bucks. Let's get her started up.
I will say first off, the wind noise isn't too bad. This is a pretty well insulated helmet. We're approaching 60 miles per hour getting on the highway, and I don't feel like I have to shout. As a matter of fact, this one's a little bit more quiet than the Ghost Bandit helmet. Now I know the Simpsons are pretty much legendary when you look at YouTube and a lot of creators out there that you're watching and making content. The Mod Bandit probably being the most popular helmet I've seen out there, but when you look at the price, close to $600 for a Mod Bandit, that can be pretty hard to justify for a lot of people. So I'm always on the lookout for more affordable options that still have a really good look. And the Covert FX, I think, checks a lot of those boxes. And even in terms of functionality, it can hang up there with Simpson. So the first thing you notice when you put this helmet on, aside from how light it is the quality of the liner. I'm not kidding you, like, this thing is plush. Like, I have the Simpson, I've tried Biltwell, you know, all the major brands that do, you know, cruiser style motorcycles. Haven't really tried Daytona, but I've heard good things. Out of every helmet I've put on my head, this feels the most luxurious. Seriously, it's like a silk robe for your face. And unfortunately, I haven't taken this on a really long trip. I'll take the Simpson because it already has the Cardo system, and I'm like talking back and forth with Hope on a Harley. So, you know, doesn't get as much use. I'm actually thinking about installing another system on this one just to check it out. I know the Cardo probably adds like a pound or two, but the quality of the materials on this, I was looking today, the price is anywhere from $250 to $275 for this helmet. Scorpion Covert FX, it's called. I actually think I got this one for Amazon, either Amazon or eBay. No, you know what it was? eBay, and I saw this crazy price on the carbon, because they're usually like $400 for the carbon version. I think someone mislabeled this, and it was $275, so I jumped on that deal. And I don't know if someone got fleeced, or someone in the stock department was getting yelled at. But I got this thing for a steal. They're out there sometimes on eBay to check it out. But at that price, what you also get that you have to buy separately on a lot of helmets, including the Simpsons, you get a clear and a dark visor. I live in Southwest Florida, Tampa, Clearwater area, and most of my riding is done during the day, so having the sun visor is great. One thing this doesn't have is the flip down sunglasses on the inside. That could be a deal breaker for a lot of people, especially me. When I go to work in the morning, I'm typically headed, sunrise to the east. I'm typically headed east, so if you have that sun directly in your face, you're going to notice this doesn't have as much protection as if you had a helmet with the drop down sunshades. Now you could probably solve all this by just wearing like some shades underneath of it. But I found, and Hope has the same helmet, by the way. That's how much I love this helmet. Hope has one. Hers is it's a cool, really cool gray color. And she said the same thing. She's like, I feel like the tint just isn't dark enough on these helmets. To the point where we've even considered, like, is there any option that we have to, you know, maybe get a darker visor? I haven't really seen one online. So definitely a potential issue if you're someone that rides a lot in the early morning or towards sunset. It's just something to consider. But, you know, I think having the visor included saves you like nowadays $65-75 on the aftermarket visors for most helmet brands. So having both of them gives you that flexibility. And I guess the positive about the not so dark visor, I mean, you might even be able to see my face on camera, I don't know. One of the positives is at night it's not super dark. Guess these guys behind me gotta get that top down. Now, one thing you do get with this helmet is not only a chin vent that you can adjust, but you also have it on the the top of the helmet. There's a little vent. But if I'm honest, the airflow on this is not as pronounced as I would say the Simpson helmet or even the Biltwell lane splitter that I have. Lane splitter is probably the best airflow out there. I don't know if you've seen them, but it's got like 3 slits in the front. You just get all that air but you don't have an option to close it. But it's good to have. It's good to have the airflow. And it's extremely windy out today, so having that wind protection is really nice. It definitely feels like a more premium helmet than it's priced. And if you don't care about the Simpson name brand, but you also want to get a great helmet, this is a good option. It's also ECE 2206 certified. You know, if you're going to wear a full face, which is pretty rare for people who ride Harleys, I know, might as well wear one that's safe. So the DOT stamp isn't jack squat. I mean, even those half helmets out there are DOT approved. What you want to look for is ECE 2206. That has more testing based on impact at various angles. So if you can find a good helmet, ECE 2206, make sure it has that. Personally, I wouldn't buy a full face without it. And that's saying something. I mean, I do live in Florida, and yes, it's almost 100 degrees today, but I still rock the full face helmets. You know, I would even say like a year ago, I didn't wear them as much, but we've had a lot of incidents, and you know, if just wearing a full face helmet can help protect me, that's cool. It's good enough for me. It also helps me, you know, film some stuff. I can put the camera on the front, little front chin mount, which is nice. But it really surprised me. You know, a lot of times, like, I bought a Torque helmet one time with the Torque T25, and that thing just felt like lightweight and cheap. I've seen they came out with a couple of new models, like the Pomona, like a retro style. Haven't had the opportunity to wear one yet, but it felt cheap, and that was around that $200, $300 price range. You can also, close to 300 bucks, I think, get that Simpson Speed Bandit. And I've seen a couple comparisons. From what I hear, the internal material on your face on the Speed Bandit doesn't feel as premium. And if you're going to be wearing a helmet for long rides, might as well be one that feels really good on your face. Like, this is, I wish I could describe it through the camera. Can't really do it justice, but it just feels like a freaking, I said silk something before. It feels great. It feels great on your face. Honestly wish every helmet had a similar fit to it. This one is an extra large, and for reference, I got a big noggin. I wear 7 5/8 in fitted hats, which equates to, I'm probably saying this wrong, it's either 60 to 62 centimeters or 70 to 72 centimeters. So that usually puts me in XL range, spot on for size. Every now and then I might find a helmet, if it's more rounded, where I need a double X. But both this and the Ghost Bandit, I have an extra large, as well as the lane splitter in extra large. I have found though, the Biltwell lane splitter tends to be a little bit tighter on the face, and the material is really not comfortable at all on the lane splitter. I don't know if they've changed it, but it's more on the sandpaper side. Simpson somewhere in the middle. I have noticed with the Simpson, the Ghost Bandit, it puts a lot more pressure on where that top part of the visor is on my skull, my forehead. Whereas this one doesn't have any unnecessary pressure points. And I still think it has that street look to it. I get a lot of comments where guys are like, oh, I'm not gonna, would never wear a full-size helmet, full-face helmet on my Harley. It doesn't look right, but you know, more and more I think it's becoming more accepted, especially as these brands come out with better styling. Like back in the day, you wouldn't want to put like a street bike crotch rocket style helmet on. It just would look goofy when you're riding your old Harley down the road. But I think now they look a lot better, including this helmet. If I was to rate it though, I would say the Simpson probably looks a little bit better, edges out on the look side. I don't know if that's just me being biased to the brand, but I just think it looks a little bit cooler. Again, all personal preference. I don't think this helmet looks bad by any stretch. Both this and I know they have some solid colors. I have that dark gray. Hope has the dark gray. We're gonna cross our fingers here that we arrive on location with no rain. Hope warned me. She said, you know, you might want to drive your truck. I said, but I haven't ridden in 2 days. Come on, give me a break. I do have a change of clothes that I've been carrying with me, because I will say, on more occasions than not, in the summer in Florida, you're gonna get stranded in the rain somehow, some way. Just part of the Florida lifestyle. So what do you think down below? If you do rock a full face, let me know. I'm trying to think of some other cool ones I'd love to try, like the Indian Kyle, my friend with the Indian, he got a Daytona full face. I will say, if I ride Badgers a lot, a modular could be in my near future, just because it'd be cool to pull up to a light when I'm sweating my ass off and take a sip of water or something. So maybe a modular could be out there. Now, been looking at some deals on Mod Bandits. They're not there. I mean, they're still close to 600 bucks after taxes. So I saw there was a Solaris Z1R 2.0, which is endorsed by Brian636 and Seabear Stunts, and they look kind of cool. Daytona also has a version of a modular. I don't know. I've tried the Simpson modular on before, and I felt like it just felt almost like unsafely loose. Maybe I have to play around with it, try some more sizes, but my local Cycle Gear doesn't really have a lot of cruiser-focused modular helmets, and I mean, most of them are kind of dorky looking with them with the face mask up, whatever. Harley actually has that limited edition Liberty modular helmet I thought looked cool, but I couldn't really find one of my size. They're kind of round, so kind of modulars, just they look like you're, you know, Mr. Potato Head or Mr. Egghead. Just sit really big, like you look like a lollipop walking around sometimes. Especially when your head's as big as mine. Yeah, let me know what you're rocking out there. I would love to try the Simpson Outlaw Bandit and maybe wear a Speed Bandit too. Simpson really has that styling on lock. But if you want to be different, I would go to your local helmet store, JP Cycles, wherever it is. See if you can get your hands on a Scorpion Covert FX. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Matter of fact, my brother, who just got back into motorcycles, he's got a gray Street Glide he just built. Custom paint and all with the gray. He decided to buy the Scorpion. He loves it.
And we've reached that point in the video. I'm actually looking forward to these. The negative comment. This one comes from Black Alaskan Diamond on YouTube. He says, "You're an idiot. You pulled out in front of him and then expected him to slow down, and you're mad when he doesn't. Holy F, that's wild. This is why people hate bikers. Don't be stupid. You want more space? Twist the wrist." This is actually one of a short that I posted where I switched lanes, merged to the right to make a turn, and noticed a Jeep behind me had accelerated. I did have to slow down somewhat because traffic ahead was slowing down, but he made it a point to hit the accelerator instead of maintain speed, but definitely caused some argument back and forth online. Obviously, if you're not in the situation, sometimes it can be hard to figure out what exactly happened. However, I respect it. You know, I do love free speech, so if you want to be featured in one of these, be sure to leave a comment below. And whether it's good or bad, I don't delete anything. I leave it all on there for everyone to see. So that's going to pretty much do it for today's video. I appreciate you for watching. As always, if you ride, remember, keep that rubber side down where it belongs. Hopefully you're getting some time out there between rain and thunderstorms, but get out there and ride more. That's what it's all about. So thanks again for watching. Peace.
I forgot to mention too, the Visor has a lot of like different levels. I'm gonna go a good speed, and it seems to really stay up, which is nice. It's not like flimsy, you know? Going about 65. Can't really knock it down like that. Let's try it. Oh, well, maybe you can. Oh, really got to give it some oomph to it. But just riding with the wind, going about 70, seems to be okay. But if you hit a bump, oh, couldn't do it there. There we go. All right, I'm done. We'll get you at Hope's house.